Hello, everybody. As you come on in the room. Oh, I got you, AD. Baby, one thing AD don't do, she don't waste no time. She don't waste no time. Give me 1 second. At all. AD said, blockages, let me find them out. All right, y'all. So I decided to do some What's Blocking You readings today because we are in the 5th month, which is the month of liberation. And for us to be liberated, we got to find out what is in the way. And so, what the readings will be covering today. Soon as I can close all this unnecessary tabs out and look at my notes. Hey, Love and Light Holistic. So, we're going to be figuring out what the block is, what's the cause of the block, essentially where it came from. And also, we're here to look at the solutions. How do we spiritually, mentally, physically, or practically unblock it with some steps? Okay? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And why is this? Hold on. Listen here, sweetie. Oh, that's what the problem is. Honey, these fans, you can't let these fans do their own thing. We're not trying to save no energy right now. Okay? Thank you. All right. So, first person we have on the list is AD. And just so y'all know, also, I currently have a free week for the first time. I have nobody on my, on my schedule this week. So if you want a private session, one-on-one, this is definitely the week to book it. Okay? Because I literally have nobody on the schedule. All right. Let me slide over here. We got D first. Winky Hurley. Hey, Winky Hurley. Is that Tessa? You know, y'all be having 55 different names. Something in my spirit tells me that's Tessa. Or somebody close to Tessa. Ah! All right, here we go. I'm going to say my prayer, y'all, and we'll get started. Right, divine source, divine spirit, eternal peace, source of our understanding, source of our connection, source of our wellness, source of our possibilities. I'd like to say thank you for this day, this chance, this opportunity to get information on how to remove, how to interrupt, how to disturb the blockages so that our roads, our paths, and opportunities can be open and we can walk closer, clearer, and more in direct alignment. Call forth into the space my ancestors. All the energies that are working together for my highest good. Let's hedge protection around me. So dive to the spirit. Prepare my head, prepare my aura, so that I'm able to see and understand and communicate in a way that makes the most sense. And that's helpful. In the name of all that is, we say it is so. So it is. Our spirit. We begin first with AD. Sure, AD. Okay. Here we go, D. Thank you. Finally, my monitor is working. First, what is the block for AD? Okay. Spirit. Where did it come from? Where did it come from? How does she? What's the solution? How does she unblock it? What's the solution? How does she unblock it? Okay. Let me take note of these cards here. All right. Oh Lord, hi Braxton. Okay, so AD, and just so y'all know, I'm also live on YouTube. If you want to watch the playback, Brother Voodoo let me in. I won't be able to do that, Braxton. Not today. Okay. So when we look at the block, okay, the block that's presenting itself here is, oh my God, I didn't see everybody on YouTube. Oh, I didn't put the Cash App up. Wait, I'm throwed off. I'm so sorry, y'all. I just clicked over to, that says too many tabs going on. So sorry. This is it's right here. I'm so sorry, y'all. Oh, you test the system. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Help me see what's blocking me. I'm up against the wall. Dear God. Y'all forgive me. It's just a lot of tabs going on. Okay. So we got the block, which is the Queen of Cups reverse. And the blockage here is what this reveals, that the emotions, when the emotions are running the show, but not in a way that's healing, it presents as a divine interruption for you. So being emotionally overwhelmed, AD, shutting down, or being deeply sensitive right now. And truly, just because of who you are, that's always going to be a block for you. Always going to be an interruption. It's the emotion, the emotional stability. So the block is not centered in you not being emotionally available for yourself. Come on, Target. You are either giving too much or suppressing too much. And when we do that, we don't handle ourselves well. The emotions step into that wonderful divine feminine energy that is chaos, right? And we need to balance and stabilize the emotions, okay? That's what's going to interrupt. Because once you are angry or sad or whatever, you need about 3 to 5 business days before somebody can tell you something different. Okay? You need about 3 to 5 business days. Full business days. Okay? And so, the root here, we got the world card here at the root. And when I see this, this is an indication that you have outgrown where you are. And you're actually at the end of a cycle. So this is positive, right? But instead of us moving into a celebration of completion, we're grieving it or resisting it. So being emotionally tangled up, because ending is emotional, right? Ending is not just situational, it's always emotional. So struggling to commit to the chapter closing or accepting that the chapter is closed, even if it is something that has brought growth. So that's at the root. The root is you've outgrown this space and we are at the end. Okay? And here's the release. 3 of Cups in reverse. The 3 of Cups in reverse says, stop performing joy. Right? Stop performing like everything is cool. Stop performing fine in front of others. You do need to withdraw from the noise, especially in the crowd, friend group, environment that expects you to be the healer, the helper, or the happy one. We got to remove the expectations. Separate yourself from those expectations. And you can unblock yourself by taking yourself a solo journey. Currently in the process of. So what is this? D, confirmation. Detoxing from people that distract you from what you know to be true. And reconnect you with what brings you peace. Not what keeps you included. So here's the thing. You're actively doing it. Do your solitude walk. Close the emotional door on whatever's been good enough but not right. Skip the invite. Put the phone on do not disturb. Allow yourself to get quiet and get clear. Confirmation. That's it. All right. So you write on it. What you can also do is take you a cut and clear bath with some eucalyptus, some lemon, slice some lemons up, or a lemon or two up, um, and some Epsom salt. Mm-hmm. And do your prayer centered in the separation, the severing of that energy to cut and clear that energy, okay? You said on point as usual. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Hey Jay. Oh my God. I'm testing. Y'all, let me tell you something. Y'all just got to bear with me because you know what I need to do? I gotta split the screen. Let me put this on this side. And then I could put this. Oh, wait a minute. Lord. You know what? On the other side. Okay. Can I do that like that? And put this over here. Make this stretch down here. Boom. And then that's how we do it. Okay. Thank you. What did you say, Taisha? This is so crazy. I literally just came out of prayer and said, God, help me see what's blocking me because I'm up against the wall. Come on. Listen, on time. On time. On time. Yeah. All right. Let me see who I got next. I gotta watch the black folks. Like I said, y'all like to come in like a flood. You must hang on in there. Look to the heels, all of your hair. Uh-huh. I got two people right now. Alicia. Hi, Alicia. Now I can see the YouTube. That's for the Winky. I said, this feels like this is either Tessa or somebody connected to Tessa. All right, Alicia, you're here. And then after you, I got your sister. Mm-hmm. Tessa. All right. All right, Alicia. Let's go ahead and see. Alicia, there is I don't know if this is a grandmother. She kind of gives me that vibe. That's she shows me her standing on your left side, which is my symbol for being a part of your spiritual court. But she keeps showing me her having made dinner, and she's sort of placing this like sort of white baking dish on the table. Okay? Placing food on the table. So this gives me a sense of her either cooking for the family, or this woman may not be, I don't know. Either way, she's showing me her she's either cooked for the family, she's putting this dish down on the table. And she's presenting herself as an ancestor for you. Hold on. Taisha, you can do Zelle or Apple Pay too if you want. Um, trying to see if there's a message or something. But normally I call in the ancestors when I'm doing these sessions. She's showing me like a floral print, and there's like the color blue and like a deep purple. Okay, so you and Tessa meditate on that, talk on that. Let me stay focused. But I see her when I tapped in, so that's why I have to tell you that. Okay, so let's look at the blockages. Okay, what's the blockage, Alicia? Where did it come from? Where did the block come from? Also, what is the solution? What is the release? Okay, let me just take note of these cards. All right, here we go. So, first we have here Wink, you said I was just talking about redoing my room in blue and purple. Really? Well, baby, your ancestor agrees. Okay? So, good job. Hey, Luna. Okay. I see people have swept through on the list. Let me do Alicia's. You know, I get distracted real quick. Let me try to stay focused, y'all. Okay. Praise the Lord. Uh, all right, so here's what's coming up. First, hey, I got y'all. I see all y'all came through like a flood. First, we got the Page of Cups that shows up reverse when I ask what the block is. So the Page of Cups is a card that centers on emotional maturity, like creativity, new. Anytime you have a page, it's new, young energy, right? So it's centered in maturity. I got you, Eagle Eyes. So this showing up in reverse lets me know that we're being blocked by some sort of emotional immaturity, be it yours, someone else's, but there is a resistance to much growing up emotionally. Okay, so part of that, it can manifest in avoiding deep feelings. It can manifest into the fear of vulnerability, and also having a hard time trusting the intuition. I came through, Taisha. So there is some inner child energy here that has been neglected. Okay? So that's the blockage. Which is probably why you're seeking to sort of revitalize, redo, okay, your bedroom, right? Creative. That's child energy. You see what I'm saying? Now, we look at the root cause of this. We got the Queen of Cups in reverse. So this is an indication of your emotional needs haven't been met in a long time. Okay? And so either you've had to bottle things up because of your own comfort, or you care for others while you were not emotionally grounded. So the reversal tells me that the wound is either maternal or it's just deep. It's a deep wound. So it is either from your own mother or it is in how you've been mothering yourself. Okay? When we look at the release, we got the Page of Wands here in reverse. And so the Page of Wands speaks to you keep waiting for inspiration or the motivation to strike, but it's just not happening. So we be hesitant to try new things or take on these emotional risks because we don't want to fail. We don't want to look foolish. Okay. And we've grown comfortable, you know? But a breakthrough requires action even if it looks crazy. Right? Even if it looks crazy. Sometimes you just have to go for it. Sometimes you just have to do the different thing and not worry about what it's gonna look like, how it's gonna come across. That's the ego. The ego wants us to grow but look good. It don't happen like that. Sometimes it looks crazy, sometimes it looks weird. Sometimes people gonna judge you, and that's just it. But we either gonna break through or we not gonna break through. Right? In your meditation and prayer, I want you to ask your younger self, your inner child, what do they need right now? What do I need right now? With a pen and paper, and I just want you to write whatever comes up. I don't want you to judge the thought. Just write whatever comes up. It ain't got to be perfect sentences. It ain't got to be cohesive. But writing whatever comes up from you, you're going to discover what it is that you need. Once you do that, I would also say you should write a letter to the younger version of you who may have needed more love or who may have needed more support. Okay? And most importantly, paint that room. Redo that room. Okay? Let that be your first bold step. All right, Alicia? Thank you. I got Tessa. After Tessa, I got Bristow, Jennifer, Jamia, and then Taisha. Did I leave anybody out? Sometimes I need to look at the email. Oh, God. Look at the email. Make sure. Look at the email. I think that's correct. Uh-huh. Okay. I think that's thank you. I felt it deeply. Good. Very good. I'm glad that you received that. And come on confirmation. And you better tell Tessa to or send Tessa a picture of that room so I could see it. All right. Now I'm on Tessa. And then Bristow, Jennifer, Jamia, and then Taisha. Are y'all doing all right today? You doing all right? Good, good. As all right as we can given the world. But part of advancing in your spirituality is being able to maintain a center, a stability, a calmness, despite what's going on around you, or in spite of what's going on around you. Okay? So we got to do our best, y'all. Blessed and highly favored. I just celebrated 40th birthday. God is good. Well, and isn't God good? Happy birthday, congratulations. Okay? Here we go, Tessa. What's the block? Spirit. What's the cause? We get to the solution. Take note of these. Okay, Tessa, let's look at this. Let me just confirm something real quick. Yeah, I'm not sick anymore. I'm getting rid of all the gunk and mess from a sinus infection. So, let me ask one question. Okay. All right. Here we go, Tessa. So, the block at this moment. The first card that comes up here is the World card reverse. And the World card is typically a card associated with completion, wholeness, just like a constant flow. Okay? When we have this in reverse, this speaks of being stuck in a loop of some sort. Okay? Stuck in a loop. So, something that should be over, we should be over, is still lingering around. So this is either us having fully let go, or sometimes we be afraid of what comes next. Okay? So this block shows some unfinished business or a resisting completion. So sometimes we be checking the same door for new results. And we be like, what's going on here? Right? Checking the same door for new results. So, we have the Sun card in reverse as it pertains to what is the root. Underneath it is a sense or a feeling of a loss of joy or a loss of clarity, because the Sun card is really the most positive, happiest card that you can get. But we're in control of our light. So can't nobody really dim our light. We have to dim our light. So you got to see where you've been dimming your light. Maybe because of disappointment. We dim our light because of burnout. We dim our light because of comparison. We've allowed something to take our joy and we haven't fully gotten it back. We've been getting it back, but we ain't fully got it back. And this then makes us question our worth. It makes us question our vision. Or even, sometimes we'd be like, does this even matter? Right? That's what's presenting itself in the root cause. We are questioning, not from a space of wanting to know more, but always questioning from a space of, is this right or wrong? Is this valid or invalid? See, there's a difference. If I'm questioning because I want to know more, as opposed to questioning to see if it's right or wrong, or is this valid or invalid, one is rooted in certainty and a forward motion, and the other one is rooted in, this may all be a lie. I may be delusional. You know what I'm saying? So the release here, Tessa, is the Magician card. The Magician card speaks to power and you needing to reclaim your power to choose. Sometimes we forget how powerful we are and how necessary we are. And sometimes we've never really known. So you're outsourcing your magic. You're out of touch with your magic. And so you're waiting for the signs, the people, the perfect timing. But Spirit says you're what you're waiting on. You already have the tools. Use the tools. Right? You don't need anything else but belief and an aligned action. I believe it. I trust it. I have confidence in it. So what you need to do, declare a closure. Declare the end, the completion to whatever is hanging around. Call it done. Even if it's messy, even if we ain't got it up, call it to closure. Write a closure prayer and pray that. According to your email, your prayers work. Okay? Write a closure prayer to whatever is lingering in this universal year of 9, which is why this is perfect. Right? You want to reignite your joy. Do one thing this week that brings you that happiness, that reverses the sun card in reverse. That child in childlike happiness. Okay? And affirm that you are the power. You are the tool. Affirm how much of a God of your life that you are. That's the work. Okay, Tessa? What is that? Oh, Lord, that's my iPad. You're welcome. Next on the list, I got Bristow, then it's Jennifer, Jamia, then Taisha. Happy birthday to ya. Birthday to ya. I'm a baritone till my voice comes back. Happy birthday. Come on, low notes. All right, Bristol. Here we go. TB. Hi, Melodic. Oh my goodness. Seen you in a long time. Spirit. What's the block? What's the root? What's the root? What's the solution? Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations on you graduating. Let me take note of these cards. Congratulations, baby. So you've been over there minding your business, drinking your water, and advancing. Good job. All right. Here we go, TB. So, I don't know what it is with these birds, but the spirit keeps showing me these different color birds or these colorful birds. TB. I don't know. This is a parrot, but it's a colorful. Has a green. It's a very colorful bird, and there's something that's connected to this bird. I don't know if you're planning on traveling or relocating, but there's a colorful bird that is either the imagery, the icon, or something that's connected to somewhere you need to travel to. So I just need you to pay attention, look for a colorful bird, vibrant bird, okay? And this will stand out to you, okay, when you see it. So the first card that presents itself when I ask what the block is the Magician card, reversed. So, who has the power? Who has the power? Where is the power at? Is the power still with somebody in the sky? And we got to submit a claim and wait between now and eternity to receive what we need? Or is the power of God within? Who has your power? There's a disconnect from your full power. This self-doubt, hesitation, and sometimes even a belief that what you want, what you desire, is out of reach. And when we have this magician reverse, it says you have everything that you need with you. Right where I am, God is. Thus, right where I am, manifestation is. Right where I am, abundance is. You have everything you need, but we don't be using it. We have a fear of failure or not being ready enough or giving yourself permission to is what's keeping the gifts dormant. Okay? The root. Six of Swords reverse. This Six of Swords reverse speaks to you still being mentally or emotionally anchored in a past situation or past way of thinking. Sometimes we can leave something physically, but we don't leave it energetically. So energetically, we still be on the same boat. Truth may have changed, but we on the same boat. And so the reason why you have not stepped into your power is because you're dragging the weight of what we haven't fully emotionally released. Thus, there is a guilt, a grief, or the fear of moving forward. Okay? So how do we release it? Got this world card, it's disclosure. I'm telling y'all, we can, what these will say in the church, you can test the spirit, try the spirit by the spirit. We're in a universal year 9, which speaks to completions, endings, closing of cycles, particularly closing of 9-year cycles. So circle 2016 to now. Okay? The spirit keeps throwing out this closure here because we need to capitalize on the universal energy of endings and demand, decree, declare that these things are complete. So to unblock this is to finish what's unfinished. Close the cycle out, Brista. Fully remove yourself physically and energetically from what's over. And perhaps the bird that they were showing me earlier, this colorful bird, is an example of the freedom, the wings that you need to fly. The vibrant bird does not apologize or ask to be beautiful. The vibrant bird does not apologize or ask permission to fly. The vibrant bird flies. The bird don't stop and ask another bird for their wings. They use the wings they have. The bird does not board a plane to get in the air. The bird uses its wings and its freedom to fly. So should you. So if the people, the situation didn't give you the exit ticket, baby, give you the closure, give yourself the exit ticket. Okay? Sometimes you have to say as an affirmation, I choose to move forward without answers. Huh? I choose to move forward without the apologies, without understanding. I choose to move forward. And can I also say this? Sometimes, Bristow, and for others, we are trying to manifest or pray God appear something that we just need to start executing. You trying to manifest something that you can just execute. Okay? So honor the power in you. And don't let somebody else have the power by you thinking you need them for your progress. And you do not. AD said, I'm over here shouting like I'm in church. You're welcome. Chills and goosebumps. So on point. Brother, thank you for that. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. You're welcome. Because you got it. You got it. You can do it. Okay? Thank you. And TB, when's your birthday again? What's the day? What's the month and day? Now I got Jennifer, then I got Jamia, and then I have Taisha. Oh, it was just your birthday. Oh yeah. You're in the master number 11 month this month. Uh-huh. When you are in a master number 11 personal month, this centers on awareness, on awakening, on the intuition, on revelations, not the biblical revelations. You having revelations. And you receiving download. This is the month of the aha for you. So let your inspiration lead. Let your inspiration lead. And also, this year is going to center around home, your idea of home, where you call home, which may be why the Spirit is pointing you to travel and go different places. So, just think on that. All right. Good old Gemini. All right. I think I said Jennifer. Is that who I said? I think yes, Jennifer. Jennifer, and then Jimmy Kim. Chills and goosebumps. Exactly where I am, brother. You are the truth. You know, I try to, you know what? I received that. I try to be the truth, okay? Somebody got to be the truth. Jennifer, let me go rewarm my tea real quick. I'll be right back. Can't stand no cold tea, especially when it's supposed to be hot. I'll be right back. Yes, Katina. The reading, okay? You know, sometimes people can, you know, numbers and stuff. Social media makes you get real crazy with like numbers and 1.5, these people, that people, this many folks. Listen, sweetie, I'm grateful whether it's 60 or 600 or whatever. I'm grateful to be doing the work. We had a sister woman on here yesterday who came on, who's been a client of mine for a while, who was on one of these readings some months ago after she received a cancer diagnosis. And I told her, I said, girl, let me tell you something. You're going to be done with that thing come April. And she came back with a praise report. Okay? She came back with a praise report that she just finished her last cancer treatment. Save my reading. Yeah, actually, it's on YouTube, TB. So it'll always be on my YouTube page. So if you go to darcellandre, I'm live on there right now. So you'll be able to rewind it. Okay? So we're grateful. We're grateful for the space to do the work. Okay? All right. Now, Jennifer. Here we go. Jennifer, what's blocking Jennifer? Okay, 1 second. Mm. Okay. What's the root? What's the root of the blockage? Mm. Spirit, what's the root of the blockage? Now, see, y'all just want to do whatever y'all want to do. Give me 1 second. It would be Jennifer come on here with this intense energy. Hey, Sunila, I got an update for you from the EI. So I'll be emailing you today. I didn't forget, girl. I'd be relocating all types of things, but I have an update for you. So, Spirit for Jennifer, what's the root cause? Yes. Mm-hmm. What's the root cause? Mm. And lastly, it's okay. It's okay, Jennifer. You got big energy. That's what it is. And what's the solution? Okay. Take note of this. Okay. Oh, 1 second. Lord, what is happening? Okay, I think it's together now. All right. So here we go, Jennifer. You see, you gotta watch these spiritual people, honey. Their energy come through and all my stuff start messing up. Okay. So let's look at this. What is the block? The Eight of Cups comes up upright. When we have the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Cups is a card that is speaking of leaving something behind, walking away. This is a card centered on, as it pertains to the block, you being called to fully walk away emotionally. But we haven't quite done it yet. And sometimes it's because we're still in the thick of it, which is okay. And also, sometimes we physically walk away, but the energy, we ain't walked away yet. And the heart is still roaming. Okay? So this block says that, yes, you knew or you know that it was time to leave or you have left, but there's still some emotional, heart-centered ties that is causing a stall in the energy. Okay? We can't win the source. The spirit calls for a transition. We cannot be, well, you can be afraid to leave things behind. But my yeah. Well, there you have it. But, hey, you do. You got to leave it. Got to leave behind. And so, when I asked what the root was, two cards flew out for the root. The Three of Swords and the Lovers reversed. So this is absolutely the ex-husband. So at the core, so now we're at the cause. This is the cause. At the core, this block is the betrayal. It is the heartbreak. He called me out today because I moved on. Not the husband that's the block called you out today because you moved on. Mm-hmm. He said you're a hoe. I understand. I understand. And they start doing all that. And that man is crazy as hell anyways. So let's start there. They start to do all that, talk crazy, of course. But here's the thing, right? We know what we're doing, and I don't need you to agree. I don't need no support. And I think part of this is you changing your expectation or your desire for another response from him, because he's not going to give you that. You know what I'm saying? Or thinking that there's going to be. It's not going to be that. You know? So this clearly is that. This clearly is the romantic heartbreak. I'm not looking back. Period. So that means that we got to figure out how to restrict more and more access, because he should not be in a position where he can call you and say any of these things. You know? And you're healing from that, right? You're healing from that still. So I think all of that is connected. All of that's together. Because guess what? It's not just a person. Sometimes a relationship, especially you got married, there's a vision there that we're leaving. There's a dream, right, that we're leaving, that we built with them. And sometimes it's hard to bury. But hey, sweetie, this is the real spiritual work. So everybody who want to be spiritualists and only thing they do is take self-love rose petal baths and got good vibe candles, that's not the work. That's hardly the aesthetic. Okay, I'll just do yours. Um, and you could check it back. Okay. My car almost caught fire last weekend. He said it happened because I left. See, that's what I'm saying. Why we gonna have to cut that communication? Cause why? You know what I'm saying? But you see what that does? That lures you. That's why we ain't severed, right? That lures you into a tit for tat. You see? That lures you into a motherfucker, da 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 da. You don't, and we getting upset, and it bothers us, but that lures us back in. So that keeps us in that, and that's we got to move on from that. The release is the Four of Swords. So we already talked about cutting that access because he's just a harmful person. But also this Four of Swords says your recovery is your unblocking. So anything that is not in alignment with the recovery from these experiences, we can't do. Can't deal with, can't be bothered with. Okay? Action, not so much. Recovery. Recovery. And guess what? When people are in recovery, they can't even be in the midst of something that's going to tempt them to lean into, go back into those old thoughts, those old feelings, those old things. You know? So, recovery. And so that's the focus. Center on recovery. Focus on recovery. As long as you focus on recovery, this block, may it be undone. That's right, Thomas. Okay? Yes. Okay? So you're doing the things. You in a sabbatical right now. Okay? Anybody ask you what I'm recovering. I'm in recovery. Okay? Thank you, Jennifer. Jamia. And then I'll probably, I'm going to do an audio message for Taisha. So she's not going to be on here. You ain't see me in forever? Yeah, because they want to keep a real bitch down. Ah! Okay? That's what it is. That's what it is, sweetie. They want to keep a real. They want to keep a real bitch down. You're so welcome, Thomas. You are the truth. I pray for continued blessings and success. Love you. I love you back. The power is within me. That's right. The kingdom of heaven is within me. Yes, it is. And all these things will be added to me. That's right. You spoke a word to me straight from spirit. Grateful. So as you can see, Danielle, not much has changed. Okay? Jamia, are you here? Thank you for being patient. I see you. Jimmy is like, get to it, sweetie. All right, Jimmy. Here we go. Just move this real quick. All right. Here we go, Jimmy. Spirit, what is blocking Jamia? Spirit, what's blocking Jamia? Spirit, what's the cause? What's the cause? And the solution. Just make sure. Okay. Let me just take a note of this. Uh-huh. So this is really interesting. Oh, hold on. See, that's how they do. Hold on. All right, here we go. Is this it? Sorry, baby. Cash App noticed some stuff going on. Then they want to start trying to deduct. Let me tell you something, Cash App. I don't care what subscription I got through that card. This money is not for that. Okay? I don't care what y'all got going on over there. This ain't got nothing to do with that. All right. So, here we go. Jamia, you are another one that had 2 cards fly out for the root. Yes, I got yours. So, here we go. First card that comes out here for the block is the King of Swords. King of Swords speaks to, you be overthinking. Baby, overthinking, over controlling. over strategizing. And sometimes we try to logic our way through some things that we need to emotional honesty our way through. Sometimes we logic our way through some things that need us to just be emotionally honest. So there's a lot of emotional energy that's been showing up that it's like, bitch, unleash me. So you are definitely a head over heart. You're in a head over heart mode. I'm not gonna say you're a head over heart person, but you're in a head over heart mode. And so when we do that, we stay sharp. Baby, we own it. We're quick with a solution, but we're also detached, right? You got the strategies, but you're not connected. And that is severing you from your truth. It's not really keeping us as safe as we think that it is. Okay? And so the block shows up when you're trying to manage your emotions instead of feel your emotions. So when I ask, what's the root cause? We got the King of Cups and we got the Eight of Cups. So this speaks to emotional suppression. There was a point in your life, Jamia, where you said, baby, I'm getting ready to turn the emotions off. I'm going to emotionally walk away. And we thought that the turning off of the emotions, the walking away from the emotion, was the solution. When only that was the escape. I'm going to withdraw instead of completely divulge what I truly feel. See, because the King of Cups is emotional mastery. But when this comes up next to this Eight of Cups, it's emotional avoidance. So we got to go and think about that time. When was the moment? When was the moment that we said, you know what? I'm out of here. Okay? Because calm doesn't always mean collected. Just because you learn to stay calm, that don't mean that you're available emotionally to yourself or maybe to others. And sometimes we've lived in this so long that when people say things to us like that, I feel like there's a wall up. I feel like it's this, that we be acting like we don't know what they're talking about. But our eyes, Yanla Van Zant said this when she went to the doctor. She said, I realized at the optometrist that your eyes will adjust to the level of deficiency that you see. So just because this is what you've been seeing like, don't mean you've been seeing it right. So we've adjusted. This is the solution. My father tells me I have a wall up too. Yeah. I knew it. Yeah. Three of Swords. This is the solution. You gotta get somewhere with somebody that you feel safe, and you gotta let your heart break. You gotta give yourself time, space to fully grieve or fully admit that something hurt you. And don't try to wrap it in a scholastic, nice, neat, clean. It's ugly, and so you need to say it with the energy that you hold it with. You need to say it with the energy that it was done to you with. Because the breakthrough don't come without the breaking. You need to release. That's it. Release that. Release the illusion of composure. Release that and give yourself permission to hurt and to heal. That's what pain is for, Jamia. Pain is to let you know there's something wrong. So, name that thing out loud, not just in your head, not on paper. Name it out loud. What hurt you, even if it's embarrassing. Because we only get embarrassed because of what we think other people gonna think. Nothing is inherently, it's actually embarrassing. We make things embarrassing. Why? If you fall at home and nobody sees you, you're not embarrassed. It's when you fall in public that you get embarrassed. What are the things that you are too proud to say? What are the things that felt like it cost too much to express? Cry, scream, holler. Try your best not to punch unless you go to the gym and you punch a punching bag. All right? But the wound got to be open, not just bandaged. All right? Release, release, release. And in this 5 universal month of liberation, be free, Jamia. You deserve that. Okay? I look forward to hearing about your liberation and seeing the Jamia on the other side of that. Thank you. I'm going to do Taisha's on a voice note. She's not here. I'm going to say, who's next? Katina, and then I got Sunila. Okay? Give me 1 second, clock out. Hold on real quick. Okay. Here we go. Katina, then Sunila. Spirit. What is blocking? Let me see, Tessa. No, it's not a person. It's within you. Now, you may find that when you discover what you need to release within you, you may let somebody go, but it starts with you. It's within you. Okay, Katina. It's the root. It's the root of the block, Katina. It's the Okay, Katina, we've been working through a lot of energy recently, haven't we? Because, woo, take note. Yes, okay. Here we go. So I was pulling a couple of cards, and I was having to double check with my shells to ensure that they were right, because I just felt like a lot of energy, a lot of energy. So I just want to make sure I was okay. Well, see, make an adjustment. Pull again. Okay. So first I want to say the block, two cards flew out. The Ten of Wands, upright, and the Seven of Swords, reverse. Okay. So the Ten of Wands is a card about carrying too much stress, too much burden, overwhelm. Okay. Let me also close this list. And overextending yourself and not fully being transparent or even honest with yourself about how heavy all of this is. And there is a still functioning for people, still showing up for people, and also being a martyr. Playing the martyr, the sacrifice, the one that just got to suffer through it. And when this Seven of Swords comes up, this speaks to a betrayal having occurred. And this shown in reverse even speaks to a guilt or a shame energy here. Sometimes shame about your own limits, being honest about your limits. Sometimes we be saying we could deal with some shit that we really can't deal with. And whatever the reason is that we do that or we say that, excuse me, we have myriads of reasons. But that mask of I got it, we can work through it, this, da 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 da. It's not real. That's why it's a mask. While internally, you're exhausted and resentful. So that's the block. The root, the cause of it, is this Eight of Cups reverse. Now, these cups, I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on in the emotions. This Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups speaks to a feeling of abandonment, a feeling of loss, and the fear of abandonment and loss. So then we hold on to roles. We hold on to situations or people that we probably should have walked away from because we're afraid of what leaving might mean. Especially when we are a people based in security. We're afraid what leaving might mean. And this is older. This is an older thing, too. Like how it can show up in a present situation. That's how it's showing up in this situation. But the root of this energy of not wanting to disappoint others, right? Having to be the shining example. All the pressure of that means that you also don't want to admit when something isn't working. So instead, we stay, we carry more, we deal, we overextend, we overgive, and we suffer. So here's the release. You got the King of Wands. King of Wands says you unblock this by stepping into a radical, bold leadership of your life. King of Wands don't ask for no permission. Don't wait for anything. King of Wands don't care about rejection. King of Wands moves with the vision. Excuse me. Fuck what them people gonna say. Fuck what them people gonna think. And whoever them people is, family, cheering, partners, forget what the people gonna say. Forget what the people gonna think. Forget that. That's what got me wore out now in the first place. What I want is always going to trump what they think. The breakthrough requires courage, boundaries, and doing what is best for you, even when people don't like it, because they're not. So, so, there's a whole bunch of shit I don't like, and y'all still do it. See that? Okay? So, I want you to write a list of things that you are carrying that's not yours. I need you to go on a 30-day. You can start with a week. Start a week, no challenge. You say no to everything you don't feel like doing. No. Anything somebody asks you? No. I won't be able to do that. Ah, okay. Nah, I can't. Maybe you can call so and so. I'm in I got a whole spiritual walk of no. Okay? Because I got to start, the only person I'm allowed to say yes to in this season, or that I need to say yes to, is me. So reclaim your fire, Katina. Do something brave and selfish, because they're going to call it that, and feel good about it. Thus saith the Lord. Okay? Period. Exclamation point. Underline. Circle. Bold print. 145 point font. Ashe. Sunila. Bow, 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 bow. Sunila, also let me tell you this. Baby, when you made that video, the first 5 seconds sounded like you was finna go off on me. I was like, I thought we had a good, but then the sixth, I said, oh, okay. It's the black mamas. It's the black mama, and you never gonna not be a black mama. Okay? That's why I love black folks now. That's why you got to be patient with black folks, cause get to that 6 second. First 5 seconds, you don't know what's going on. 6 second. But that's how I know, Sunila, you have done a lot of work, because I know you can clear somebody out. Okay? Let me get some tissue real quick. All right. Here we go, Sunila. What's the block for Sunila? So what's the cause? What's the cause of this? What's the cause? What? We got some. Got a lot of cards that flew out here. Can you take note? Okay. So, Sunila, when I asked the spirit between the Two of Wands, excuse me, what's the block? The Two of Wands and the King of Cups comes out. King of Cups is upright. Two of Wands is reverse. Here's the block. When I see this, you are doing everything you can to keep yourself emotionally grounded and calm, but also there's something in that that's keeping you in a stuck position. So the King of Cups says, you know how to feel, but when it's paired with this Two of Wands in reverse, it's like we're avoiding an expansion, right? So we are afraid to leave the comfort zone, even though part of you is emotionally ready. So you got the wisdom, Sunila, but you're holding the wisdom and not using the wisdom to move forward. Okay? So write that down. So this consists of us knowing what needs to be done, feeling the shift, seeing the signs, learning the lessons, gain the emotional insight from the past. Yeah, you're maturing, you have the emotional intelligence, you even have the clarity. But there's still us sitting on all of this wealth of information, still questioning ourselves too much. Not questioning ourselves to go further, questioning ourselves to see if this is right, is this wrong, is this. There's a difference there. And sometimes we play it safe and do what we want to do because some stepping too far into the unknown, stepping too far or so far, it can feel risky. So I need you to sit with yourself and ask, what wisdom have I been sitting on and not actionizing? Okay? When I ask what the root of this is, I got the Four of Wands reversed. And so at the root, this indicates, because 4 is always a number of foundation and stability. Okay? This 4 of Wands upright speaks to joy and harmony at the foundation, joy and harmony at the home. But this in reverse speaks to there being an instability in your foundation. Now that's your home, that's your family, that may even be your inner sense of safety. And sometimes we carry this over, right? So you might have grown up in an environment where celebration and safety weren't consistent. So now, right, now there is a hesitance to build or trust long-term happiness. It's hard for us to expand when our foundation doesn't feel solid. So sit with yourself and also say, all right, where are the cracks in the foundation? Where are the cracks? Right? Spirit, reveal the cracks so I could tend to those cracks. So when I ask what the release is, got the Nine of Wands reversed. And we got the Six of Cups reversed. Okay? Write this down real quick. Okay. So the solution, as I said, we got the Nine of Wands, and then we got the Six of Cups that shows up reverse. The breakthrough comes when you stop protecting the old pain. That's the breaking. That's the breakthrough. Because, Sunila, you have been fighting and defending a version of you or your past that no longer serves you to do. Defending an old version of me. I'm defending my past, and that does not serve me. So when we get the Six of Cups in reverse, it says we also must release those nostalgic illusions. The people, the memories that we romanticize are keeping us stuck. So you've been practicing an emotional hoarding. Here's the freedom. You don't owe your past your future. You don't owe the past your future. Write that down. You don't owe the past your future. Because just because something shaped you, it doesn't mean it owns you. The relationship, the trauma, the mistake, the childhood, the slip up, you are allowed to grow beyond that, and you don't have to keep choosing pain just because it is familiar to you. The past taught you, but it cannot trap you. Doesn't get to do that. That's us paying rent somewhere we no longer live. Okay? And release does not require reliving. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in obvious ways, it haunts you, and in less so obvious ways. Because what people don't understand is, it mocks you. Mm. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, hmm, babe, we doing some healing work today. Hmm. What do you mean by it mocks you? Hmm. It's like that. Hmm. Hey, Amanda. Hmm. Sometimes we gotta. Here's the thing. Are these things that you talked about already? Or these things we've kept as inner dialogues? And that's it. Sunila, that's the thing. Shame dies in the sunlight. That's the thing. That thing, we feed that thing silence. That's how it becomes the ghost that haunts. Because when you say it, when you name it, when you express it, you rob it of the secrecy. Whatever it is, speak that thing. Confess it to somebody you think you feel is a safe person. Now, you ain't got to relive it, but you do have to confront it. That's the thing. Sunila, I tell you, baby, that be the weight. The WEI, GHT and the WAIT. That be the weight. That be the holdup. So let the shame die in the sunlight. Interrupt that loop and stop letting the past finish that sentence. That your sentence. I've always felt like the dirty little secret that everybody knew. Yeah. And that means that your power has been dispersed. Mm-hmm. What's wrong? And I tried. Okay. Yeah. But we're gonna either take the power, Sunila, or we're not gonna take the power. Because no, you couldn't fix it. Wasn't something to be fixed. Couldn't have been, couldn't be undone. Whatever it is, couldn't be undone. But you gotta let it die in the sunlight. You gotta rob it of the secrecy, and you got to put yourself at the front of the narration. You got to tell the story. Stop letting what we think everybody else know and what they think. Let those things tell the story. Cause that's the haunt. That's the haunt. Mm-hmm. That is the haunt. How? You're a singer, you're a writer. You got to claim your pen. You get to decide if this chapter, if this song is a love song, a sad song, a funeral song, or a song of warfare, a song of overcoming. You decide if this situation was a tragedy, a testimony, or a turning point. Reclaim the pen. Set your atmosphere as you do. Get you a fresh pen and paper. And I want you to write down the version of the event that you've been telling yourself all these years. And then I want you to rip that out, put that on the side, and rewrite it in a way that is meaningful. Rewrite it in a way that is powerful. Reclaim your pen. Because you can. And you and yours, your ink is the only one that counts. Your ink is the only one that God observes. Your ink is the only one that's legible. Claim the pen. Because I deserve happiness, right? Baby. Yes. You earn. It's not because you. Happiness is not something you got to earn. Happiness doesn't require you to have been perfect. Happiness doesn't require that you suffer to be worthy. You deserve to be happy because you exist. That's it. If you exist, you deserve to be happiness. I'm well. How are you? How are you, Raquel? Your breath is proof of your purpose. You deserve to be happy because you exist. And the soul did not come here to be punished. It came here to remember and learn joy. Reclaim the pen. Okay? Ashe. And it is so. And it is so. And it is so. And it's been so. And it will be so. Until you and I and everything gets up out of here. Hey, Mama Sunfire. Peace. Peace. Yes. I don't know why we ain't never did a live or nothing together. We ain't never did. We're gonna have to figure out something and shake the table up. Okay? We're gonna do something, shake the table up. Your niece and nephew to their first Patty concert. Did you? Aww. Baby, they was having a good time, weren't they? So we reclaiming the pen. All right? So y'all ain't got to be strong. You ain't got to be none of that. But goddamn it, you're gonna do what you need to do to be happy. And 40% of the happiness is, what is it? 50% of the happiness is inherited. You can look this up. 40% of the happiness comes from your internal environment. And only 10% of your happiness comes from your external environment. Why the fuck are you giving the 10%, 40, and 50? None of the shit we think is supposed to make us happy actually can make us happy. All this out here, the people, the status, the look, all this stuff's only 10%. That's why you have people that got everything and running and jumping off the bridge now. Okay? Baby, do I deserve happiness? Happiness deserves me. How about that? All right? Happiness deserves me. So, I love you all from a light-filled place. We have come to a conclusion today. Great messages. Great messages. Great wisdom. Great understanding. Gratitude to the source, to the spirit from which all things flow. We're grateful for an opportunity to be in the presence of healing, in the presence of growth. And only a fool receives wisdom and keeps it to themselves. If you learn, teach. Okay? You're so welcome. You're welcome, Sunila. And I'll get back to you with what the Ianifa said. All right. Peace, everybody. Go and get y'all something to eat. I know I am.